NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook preview show, live show. We're here for the 6th game, Wednesday main slate. Pretty interesting 6-game slate, as throughout the day, doubtful superstars have become questionable, and now we have to wait. Now it's going to really impact the slate, because Boston Phoenix is 10 p.m. It's the last game on the slate. Jason Tatum went through his pregame warm-up, shoot-around, went from doubtful to questionable with the ankle injury. Nikola Jokic went from doubtful to questionable. 9 p.m. Giannis already ruled out for the Milwaukee Bucks. No Damian Lillard for the Milwaukee Bucks. So a lot of value to be had in Milwaukee. We thought there was going to be no Jokic. That may now not be the case. Those are the 2 late games on the slate. Your chalk monsters for today. Terrifying. Don't know exactly who to trust, what to believe, or where to go. Someone we highlighted heavily on the preview show, Tristan Vukcevic, right up there on 40+% ownership today. Not going to start. We assume they don't go double big. We'll know 7 p.m. roster locked there. We'll get that starting lineup. But if he doesn't start and that first guy off the bench is Rashawn Holmes, 40% of the field might be eating a 0.
Cooked.
Terrifying. 6 games, great slate, a lot of fun matchups on the board. Some guys that we were high on that look like everybody else is going to be high on as well, looking at you, Brooklyn. So we have a lot to talk about here today, Grande.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting 6-gamer. Still some massive news depending on, what happens with James Harden, depending on what happens, obviously, with Tatum and Jokic in the late window. But, should be a very, very, very interesting 6 games.
Agreed on you there. Appreciate you all tuning in here with us. Cujo, saying happy afternoon, everybody. Rolly, happy hump day. Jay Smooth saying, let's get it. And Power's done with the NBA. He's ready for baseball.
I think NBA's been fun.
NBA's been fun. MLB will also be fun.
Especially when you're almost winning a GPP, John. Congrats last night.
We had a good night. We were recording the MLB DFS preview show while we're just watching Ty Jerome third quarter heroics.
Was a good
come through for us quarter. There. It was a good night for me last night. But yeah, we're here talking about this 6-game NBA slate. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. We'll pop them in. Coach Chris, what's up? What's up? Hopefully you guys didn't fall into the Jimmy Butler trap yesterday, but hopefully you did ride with us on the Karl Anthony Towns play. Towns was himothy yesterday, as we expected. Triple-doubled in that matchup. So we'll see. Where do we go today? Do we go back to Towns? We'll discuss. Luka Doncic, however, is your top price point guard, $12,000 here. James Harden, 98. We'll see if he plays or not, dealing with that injury that he has. Booker, 92. Grimes back in the mix, 91, $100. Your top 4 guards tonight. James, where do you want us to kick things off?
So Luka, Coach Chris tweeted at me last night, John, said pivoted off of Towns and played Jimmy Butler. So basically the exact opposite of what he watched on our show.
That's what happened? No.
Pivoted off Towns and played Jimmy Butler. Even though I screamed from the rooftop.
You told everybody not to play Jimmy Butler yesterday. So
I tried.
Towns was the cover of our preview show. We talked extensively about how this was the spot for him. Coach Chris was the first comment of the day yesterday, wasn't it? Saying he was playing Towns?
It was about Towns. And the last question of the day was about Towns too.
All right, we live and learn. We move on.
We live and learn. He's already learning. Not changing stuff at the last minute. We're new page. So you can always play Luka. Indiana's defense has been really good lately. I mean, they've just turned their season has just been really good second half. They've just been a very good basketball team. But defensively, they've obviously been good, 7th in defense in the month of March. So you can always play Luka against whoever. But tough tough-ish spot, a good pace game for the Lakers if you want to look at it like that. Harden, I'm good with getting to James Harden here. No Miles McBride again. If he plays, we don't know if he's going to, but if he suits up, I'm good spinning up on Harden. He's been awesome. Like D-Book, should be a good matchup. If you think about how the Suns are operating without Bradley Beal and their new lineup, it is 1,007% circulating around Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And that's their entire offense because they've put in a lot of Ryan Dunn, Colin Gillespie, Tyus Jones, Nick Richards, Oso Iguodala. Like all of that surrounds Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So definitely can get to Booker if you want. And yeah, I mean, Quentin Grimes has absolutely absurd numbers with all these guys out. 1.6 essentially fantasy points per minute, almost a 39% usage rate. And the minutes have been elite too. So elite matchup for Quentin Grimes, gonna play max minutes. They haven't brought back like any of these 10-day guys. I know they signed something random again today. Philip Wheeler. For 1 second, I had to think if that was the guy that was in Backyard Baseball, but that's Pete Wheeler. Philip Wheeler. I don't know if you're a Backyard Baseball player, but shout out.
The new version is coming out soon.
Yeah, they are. They are. It is coming out soon. So like I am very high on Quentin Grimes today. So I can make cases for basically like all four guys 9K and up. I think Booker and Grimes are probably my favorite.
Ownership's not really high on any of the top price guys today because there's so much value in mid-tier options that people are just kind of floating to because of all the expected injuries. If guys get ruled in, that may change because of the value that's on this slate. But for now, that's where it's at. The mid-range, last night we were looking at Jamal Murray, $8,600 with the expectation that there was going to be no Nikola Jokic. If Jokic is in, do you have interest in Murray still at $8,600? Or, I mean, again, you won't really know. You'd have to make that decision on like a Halliburton early or something like that. Like, where do we go from here?
I don't think there's a chance I would play him at that price if Jokic plays.
Hour and a half difference between that game going off and like all the games earlier. So
almost 0% chance I would do it. It's just too hard. That's just very hard to like. No, I would not pay $8,600 if Jokic plays. And obviously like Jokic may play, may not. Obviously, getting upgraded to questionable is a trend in the right direction. But that isn't definitive, right? Like it is still a question mark. Denver is not on a back-to-back. They play only once more this week. They play on Friday. So like, I guess it just depends on how they view it. Like, I'm going to play him tonight because this is an easy win and we want to stack easy wins for the seeding. Like they play a Milwaukee team without their best two players and then they play Utah on Friday. That's should be 2 wins. So I am definitely not playing Jamal Murray if Jokic plays, but I'm definitely playing Murray if Jokic doesn't. Hopefully we get the news ahead of time. If not, I'll say this: Boston Phoenix, not the best game to pivot to if Boston is healthy either, because like they are
power. And Boston went from a skeleton crew to full strength. It's just it's crazy. Again, do you like Halliburton? Like if you wanted to just forget that whole situation, you could just play Halliburton against Pacers. I mean, against Lakers here tonight. That's fine too. $8,400. We talked. This is obviously only a 6-game main slate. So when you're looking at game totals today, that Lakers-Pacers game is still sitting right there, highest on the board, 236.5. Lakers now a 1-point favorite. That flipped from yesterday, I believe. I think the Pacers were a 1-point favorite yesterday, but Lakers now looking like a 1-point favorite. But still, the 236.5 total is appealing.
I am kind of shocked by that because the Lakers are not playing well. They have not played well lately, and in the month of March in general, they're 6-7. I know they're missing a lot of players. Indiana's 9-4 in that span. Lakers are bottom 10 defensively this month. I love Halliburton tonight. They don't have they talk about like the activity and the hustle that the Lakers have showed, and like how they're just simply trying, and that's what their defensive identity has become. They can try all they want. They don't have a singular guard that can defend on this team that's going to stop Tyrese Halliburton, especially when they're playing Luka and Austin Reeves near 40 minutes. So I think Halliburton rather is an elite play at $8,400.
Jalen Hood-Schifino ruled out tonight. Yeah, just cutting down available 76ers there. Yes, right.
I mean, yeah. They have, well, that's because they have Pete Wheeler, the redhead from.
Halliburton's run 20% tonight. Chalk play D'Angelo Russell right now. You were high on him last night. Again, shot volume, no Cam Johnson, good matchup against Toronto. $5,800 price tag for D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always interested when someone sits out because just the shot volume is going to be there. He hasn't shot the ball well at all, but we know there is an insane ceiling for D'Angelo Russell when the shots fall. I mean, it, again, has not happened a lot, but it happened on March 8th. He went 10 of 18 from the floor, made 4 threes, had 51 fantasy points. Happened on February 12th, 9 of 15 from the floor, 22 actual, 35 fantasy points. Like, when the shot is falling, D'Angelo Russell has a massive ceiling because he's good peripherally. He has the ball in his hands. He's going to dominate the basketball. He's going to lead them in pass attempts, going to lead them in passes received. So, yeah, I'll never, like, as deficient as D'Angelo Russell is as a actual basketball player, why he's on his, 12th team in, 7 years, a chalk D'Angelo Russell with this team and who's missing, you'll never hear me say a bad thing about him, even if the shot's not going in, because we've seen it with the ceiling. He doesn't need the shots to even really go in, and then it elevates.
The most important stat of those last 2 games is 22 and 18, and those were the shot attempts. Take the shot attempts there, and I'll live with the misses because it gives you opportunities for the makes. So
25 threes over that span. Dude, if you're taking that many threes, I don't care if 4 of them go in. We're talking a big game, just right then and there. So yeah, I like D'Lo.
I saw obviously your Discord policing on the Jared Butler, $6,200 for Butler here. From an ownership perspective, he's kind of in the mid-range tonight, around 14%. He is slightly higher than Quentin Grimes, obviously a lot more cheaper rather than Grimes there. Gets a matchup against the team that traded him in Washington. Revenge narratives you're not a fan of, as we saw last night with the Jimmy Butler. But we have the other Butler this time. Do we play Jared at 6,200?
No Butlers in revenge narratives, okay? Unless it's Jeffrey and he's facing against the Smith family for all that hardship that they caused him.
They paid him well.
Okay? They did pay him well. No, I mean, so when I commented, it was his ownership was 2x what it is now. It was literally, I say this to you all the time. This guy is so highly rostered all the time. I can't believe it. I haven't been snake bit by fading him every slate yet. No, I would just rather play D'Angelo Russell than Jared Butler. I would rather play Kevin Porter Jr. I would rather play AJ Johnson. I'd rather play all those players, I think, than Jared Butler.
Where do we go next then? What's the next play? There's obviously value here. Is that just kind of the obvious plugs in for you?
Yes, all those other guys that I just mentioned, plus campaign, you just play over. You just play. I think they're all good. The field's going to KPJ. I understand it too because they're going to need his offense. Brian Rollins is better defensively than he is offensively. Would not be surprising to actually see Kevin Porter start tonight, just because like he's the only one that could probably get a basket for himself.
I would agree.
Only Kuzma can create for himself, but like either way, Kevin Porter's going to play a lot of minutes.
All right, let's go on over then to shooting guard. Again, a lot of these guys have dual positional eligibility that we talked about at point guard. You now have Jaylen Brown with a healthy Boston team at $8,900. Probably not going to touch that one. Same thing with Derek White at 81. Hard to get there. Is there a top shooting guard that you'd play, or is it just you just play the value that also has the same eligibility?
I mean, I definitely think like we talked about most of these names at point guard, but I would definitely get to Alone, Booker, Grimes. I think both those guys look really good, but it's mostly what you said. I would go back to McHale. It's fine. If Harden sits, we saw Norm get up to 31 minutes, should play like mid 30s minutes. Can't get to Pritchard, can't get to Drew if they're fully healthy. Really hard to get to anything Indiana. That's like a large chunk of this position. So yeah, it's mostly just value. We had previewed and talked about Gary Trent last night. The minutes have been trending upwards for Gary. So I think Gary Trent at 44 makes a lot of sense. Zaire at 45 makes a lot of sense.
I like the Trent. I like the Trent play a lot here because we know that Milwaukee is out with those guys already. We know what the Milwaukee side is going to look like in this game. We don't know what the Denver side is going to look like in that game. So I like the Gary Trent play. Is there anything else?
Just commenting on this, Josh is going crazy about. Apparently, he is Ivica Zubac's least favorite fan. You're underrating Ivica Zubac greatly. Towns is a great offensive player, might cook him, but that is blasphemy that you're just out here just spewing garbage towards Ivica Zubac.
He's having a great year for sure.
He's having a great
small
year.
Forward then. We might have Tatum now. May have Tatum to $11,000.
I am so out on Boston if he plays because they are just too expensive.
They're all
of them. Get them all out of my life. They're all too expensive.
I really like Chris Porzingis. Don't think I could play 83 if Tatum is in that game. So it's hard to do.
No. And Jaylen Brown's a no-go.
Yep. I'll talk about LeBron, the power forward. You have Kawhi here at 88. Continues to be really good. Could have no James Harden, but even if James Harden's playing, Kawhi's been really good. I like that spot here against the Knicks for him there. You have obviously all the Knicks plays if you want to. You can play them. Scotty Barnes, we kind of talked about last night. We know the minutes are going to be capped, but he's been really good lately in those minutes. Do we think that it's worth the play?
In my notes today, John, when I got to Toronto, I wrote the word crap, but I wrote the curse word. That's what I wrote because that's what they are. A bunch of shite.
I mean, he hasn't been though. 53, 43, 48.
I'm not saying you're absolutely correct, but just when you think he's going to play 30 minutes, he plays 28. So I just don't care for it. I don't. Like, I agree. I think Scotty Barnes has been great. I think RJ Barrett and Quickly and all these guys have been great when they've been on the floor. But if you get a bad game and he plays 28 minutes, you are dead. Your lineup is dead. So I think just F Toronto, unless we find out that they're going to play 30, if we get word from Darko, but obviously that hasn't. He's DMPing random players like Jacoby Walter DMP'd, and 3 slates ago, Agbaji DMP. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. They are full tank mode. You never know when they're going to play 30, when they're not going to play 30. It's an absolute nightmare, and I would just rather not tempt fate unless you're playing large field stuff with a bunch of lineups.
I agree with you there. Let's see here. Again, you have some of the Denver plays. Is there a go-to mid option for you at the small forward position today? I mean, Kuzma is the big chalk play at 59.
Yeah, Kuzma's a good play because they need to generate offense, and he can do that. I don't mind like any of the Knicks there. Josh Hart 8K, OG 69, McHale 66. I would be good with all 3 of those players, especially No McBride and Brunson again. So any of the Knicks stuff. Denver's interesting. If Michael Porter sits, I'd be interested to see what they do. I will say I don't love Justin Edwards at 5,700 tonight. The field likes him a lot. The volume should be fine. The matchup is fine. I'm good with it. It's just like we've liked the ceiling at the price point when it was 5K and under, and now we're getting close to. If he just goes for 30, it's fine, solid. Still would probably be able to be in like an optimal build.
I mean, he's getting over 30% tonight, so.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm just that is just people playing him like, oh, he's going to play a bunch of minutes, he's going to take shots, and he's been great. So like but it's also now a point where he started this run at 4,200 and now he's 5,700. And I'm not saying he can't get there. I'm not saying
I would say he's just more appropriately priced than he was before. Like obviously he's a very cheap value.
Yes. But I also think like by appropriating his price, that doesn't automatically make him like this smash play that the field is getting to 30% rostered. I would be under.
Sure. I think it also has to do with, again, like the other options, because it is a bit of a smaller slate. I mean, again, not knowing the Denver news now throws a little bit of a wrench there, because we had talked about Peyton Watson. There is Zaire Williams at $4,500, who I know you and I like playing. Gary Trent, as you've mentioned, at shooting guard. You've been in on Ryan Dunn. He's going to have to deal with maybe now a fully healthy Boston team at 43. Chalky wise, I mean, Kobe Jones is apparently somebody that everybody's looking to play tonight. You're not a big Washington fan, but they're going here tonight for whatever reason.
Him or Jalen Martin, right? They're just splitting the difference. Just pick one of the crap Washington values at this price point and hope that you pick the right one. I don't think either of them stand out more than the other. They don't have enough sample. They haven't. Either of them have like one good game on
25% of the field is playing a guy that's played 4 minutes in 4 minutes the last 2 games. So,
yeah, and like, to be fair with that, like no Middleton, no Smart. There's a lot missing. No Koulibaly, no Kispert, especially in the wing room, right? There's a ton missing for Washington. So like I understand it. There's just no guarantee any of it is viable. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, we'll know 7 p.m. game. We will know the Washington starting lineup. We'll know who's playing for Washington. So if you want to do any of that stuff, you can. I don't think there's like much else that I even care for. The Michael Porter Jr. midday downgrade was a little interesting too.
Yeah, I agree. Again, you get an MPJ downgrade, but you get a Jokic upgrade.
And Gordon just continues to be questionable. So, like, could they be down 3 starters tonight against a team that's already down 3 starters? I think Travis said they have 4 from that. He has 4 from that game. You could see a scenario where we get news early enough. There's like 6 players in that game in every lineup.
I mean, right? I'd love to play Christian Brown if there's no Porter Jr. and Gordon and Jokic. I mean, I would
love to just figure out what to do in that game, because there's going to be endless opportunity in that game. If there's 3 starters missing on each side, it's going to be a crazy decider on who to actually play.
Agreed. Power forward. LeBron's actually getting more ownership right now than Luka is. We kind of talked a little bit about that. He's cheaper
and positionally much easier to get to.
Got more value at point guard than there is small forward, power forward. Highest game total on the board. They're a 1-point favorite. I actually like LeBron James today as well. I would have no problem getting there if the lineup, construction took me there.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I won't say anything bad about LeBron. It's fine.
The moment you do, he goes for 70.
He is a really good basketball player, and some would say better than most.
Definitely better than...
like, maybe better than 100% of the players that have ever played.
Yeah, in that conversation. So LeBron's there again. We'd have no problem playing there. Kevin Durant, cooking.
Yes.
Does Tatum coming back impact this at all for you with Durant, or are you just good to go?
They have some good wins. They beat the red-hot Chicago Bulls, who is just so good. I mean, the best win on this board right here is Chicago Bulls.
Probably.
No, I mean, beating Cleveland is a good
in
win.
Milwaukee.
And yeah, they've had 3 good wins in a row. And obviously Durant's been at the forefront of that. And
29 and 20, 50 shots the last 2 games.
Yeah,
he's only 10% right now. So like there's huge leverage here in tournaments.
Yeah, and if you look again, it is a direct correlation to the lineup shift with no Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
They put Booker on the ball, he handles the ball. We have announcers yelling, get the ball to Kevin Durant, and they're just playing with 3 guys that don't dominate the ball. Nick Richards, pick and roll. Colin Gillespie may operate as your tradition as a point guard. He is catch and shoot. Ryan Dunn, 3 and D. And then it's Durant and Booker doing everything, every playmaking opportunity. So yes, I think with the lineup construction that they're running, this is their best team since they've probably been when they were like 9 and 1, and then Kevin Durant got hurt, right? So. Yeah. I personally lean Durant over LeBron. That would be my pivot, especially at
50% of the ownership, right? LeBron's over 20%, Durant's at 10%. Like KD's right there.
Yeah, and I get it because LeBron does have the better on this slate specifically. LeBron has better eligibility, right? Sure. He has small forward, power forward. That's clearly the worst 2 positions on the board.
Really, Grande not really big on Toronto today.
He DNP'd last game.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he will this game, but we don't know that.
Yeah, we mentioned like Agbaji on the morning show as a guy that maybe you could look at if he was to start again. Again, Durant, Kawhi is here. Siakam's taking a little bit of a backseat with how well Halliburton's been playing. OG was one of the catalysts to my night last night. Can he do it again against the Clippers? You know, on a heater, making 15 of 24. Like, guy knocked down all of his shots. He gave you the rebounds, the stocks. You know, it's can he repeat? Can he continue to produce this time in a tougher matchup against the Clippers?
Yeah, I mentioned all the Knicks already.
Yeah, so they're there. Anything else down here? We work for power forward, shorter slate, smaller player pool. Watford's your chalk 46.
Yeah, it's annoying. So annoying.
Annoying because you wanted to play him at low ownership, or?
Yes, annoying because I wanted to play him at low ownership.
Are you playing him at higher?
He's a good play. I mean, they're down their backup center. He's going to operate there. Even if he doesn't, he's going to operate a lot at power, like so much power forward because they could play Clowney. They have 2 interchangeable guys in Clowney and Trent Watford that they could just play at power forward and center. And Watford's an elite ball handler, so he'll be when D'Lo's not on the floor. You will see Trent Watford operating as like primary ball handler, playmaker a lot. So, I think he's a great play. Really good usage rate with a lot of guys out. There's not a lot else. Like Ricky Council's a pivot off Justin Edwards. He just couldn't make a shot the other day. Was good peripherally. If he's in the starting lineup again, he went 2 for 11. If he doesn't go 2 for 11, you can make a case for him being a better play than Edwards. I would say the only Toronto guy that I'd even remotely consider. We had a question about Colin Castleton on the previous show. No thanks. Probably the most boring play I've ever looked at in my life. Mobo, I think it would be interesting if he starts for Jakob Poeltl. Been pretty good, especially rebounding the basketball. Can stretch the floor as well if he makes threes. I think there's a little bit of a ceiling. So if Jonathan Mobo were in the starting lineup, I would probably consider it, but that's probably it. Wouldn't be surprised to see like Marcus Bagley starting tonight, just with what Philly does. They're awful and they don't care and they're trying to lose. So, you could always close your eyes and hope that Marvin Bagley appears.
Sure. Center position then. Again, if Nikola Jokic plays, he'd be in a great spot. He is just at the 9 p.m. game, so you got to put him in your util, or leave yourself with at least a couple of pivot spots. Maybe you put him in center and play Porzingis instead. Obviously, putting him in your util would allow you to pivot down to a Durant or Tatum if you weren't already playing there. But obviously, if he is in tonight, like it could be a slate where we play the Joker, right?
There's never a slate I tell you not to play the Joker, so you're asking the wrong person there.
That's fair. So good, could be a good spot at 12.5. Towns, again, coming off the huge game last night. Much tougher matchup tonight against Zubac, 10K. If you wanted to spend up, those would be the two options for you.
Yeah, I think Towns is interesting because he has such a high ceiling and he looks healthy again. I don't think this is a good matchup. This is a terrible paced game. Knicks on a back-to-back, and Mitchell Robinson is there to alleviate some minutes from him too. And we've seen Mitchell Robinson steal rebounds from him as well. So I don't think there's as high a ceiling unless Towns is the scorer tonight, like threatening for 40. I think Jokic is very clearly ahead of Towns if we get word that he's in and there's no limitations. I think Towns is fine, but I don't think he's even in the same stratosphere as Jokic on this league.
Two of the top rostered centers tonight are on the same team.
It's going to be a night. It's going to be. This is where you win and lose tonight, baby. Right here. Not this guy. The other guy.
The other guy. Yeah, well, I mean, he is also among there. The
He's
other
great.
one is way higher rostered, but you have Alexander Sarr here. $6,300, 15% ownership here tonight. The guy that you want to play.
Whoa. I actually want to play the other guy.
Now you want to play the other guy?
Yeah, because I looked at the numbers today and I said, whoa, I want to play that guy.
Well, assuming this guy plays, he is 40% rostered. Tristan Vucevic here. Again, we talked about it at length in the morning show. I think he plays today and probably doesn't play on the back-to-back tomorrow. But we don't know. But that was at least the last trend on their back-to-backs here. If you play him and Rashawn Holmes is your first sub, you're in trouble, as we said to open the show. If you play him and he is the first sub or he starts at like power forward tonight, you're in a good spot because he's a high fantasy point per minute player.
If Rashawn Holmes is the first guy off the bench, you have two options. One, you have to go to your bedside, get on your hands and knees and pray that there's a blowout. So at least he plays the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Or second, actually there's three. Reserve late contests and play the 9 p.m. 10 p.m. game, or just go to bed and try again tomorrow. I
thought you were gonna go like make sure you go play the 2-game 9 p.m. slate because that's where you're.
I did. I literally said that.
No, I know. I was saying I thought that's where you're going first.
One of the three picks. There's no like specific order. Just do one of those three things because you are not. If Rashawn Holmes
you would have to have a lot of things go right to cash because obviously at his ownership, 35% or whatever it ends up finishing at, you can, and you've proven this, you're still capable to cash if he fails because half the field is failing with you. But you probably won't have a takedown in that spot.
No, no takedown.
You need a lot of things to go right. But $4,300, a lot of people are playing Tristan Vucevic tonight. So
as you pointed out.
Yep.
And you said it last night, and you said it again to start your dialogue on him. They just had a back-to-back. He played on the front end. Yep. This is the front end. That does not guarantee it.
Nope.
Does not guarantee it. But like, if you are looking into like, what are the trends? What are the trends? Right. That's basically what we're on. Like, that's the only thing we can rely upon.
Yep.
Fortunately, we'll know everything we need to know with their starting lineup when it comes to because they're the only they're the island 7 p.m.
Yeah, I agree. Brook Lopez, a guy you and I talked a lot about last night. We're like, oh, nobody ever plays Brook Lopez. Tonight they kind of are 23%.
Damn it, Giannis. If Giannis was in, nobody plays Brook Lopez.
Yep. We were ready. We were ready to play Brook Lopez.
We were so ready.
And then Giannis is out, so the field is kind of moving in that direction. Still like him, so not really afraid of anything there. So
Rank these three in your opinion, okay? Because I think they all look very similar to me. Sar, Lopez, Claxton. Would you just rank them in the order that I said them in? Sar, Lopez, Claxton.
I think I'd go Brolo first.
Brolo first?
Yeah, Brolo, Sar, Claxton for me.
I think I would go Alex Sar first, Brolo second, Claxton third. I will say Claxton has pretty good numbers in the sample that he's without like Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, and company. But you've said it, like it's been a vastly underperforming season.
Yeah, offensively he just doesn't shoot enough. Great to see him against Dallas go 8 of 11, but I mean, you need to see 10 plus shots from him a night, I think, for me to like comfortably play him. Then otherwise you're just looking at like a more expensive Wendell Carter Jr. You know, like,
yeah, agreed.
To get that there, and Sar's fine, Zubac is fine. I can't play Porzingis if Tatum is in. I really like Porzingis if Tatum is out.
Yep.
At $8,400. Anything else for you at center?
Yeah, Nick Richards, I think looks pretty good. He has played some good minutes mixed in with the calf injury in there, like 28 minutes, and then 29 upon return. They iced Iguodaro, or they iced Mason Plumlee last game. Oso Iguodaro operated as the backup. This could be an Oso Iguodaro game with the way that Boston constructs their lineup. Also could just put Durant on Porzingis. They're almost the same size. Put Durant on Porzingis when Boston goes their traditional starting five. So but I think Nick Richards, if he gets anywhere close to 30 minutes, just naturally has the ceiling. He's a good fantasy per minute guy. It's always hard to tell when he's going to get extended. If you think this could be a game he gets extended, then that's a route I'd go.
I would agree. It is time to build a lineup, but we haven't gotten any injury news. So
yeah, naturally.
I will say this now for all of those who are tuning in. The lineup we build here very likely drastically changes based on the official injury news for the Celtics and Nuggets. the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets for sure.
And Washington's starting lineup as well.
Yeah, Washington's starting lineup will dictate a lot, but we will build based off kind of current ownership and where we want to go with today's lineup. So we'll start there. We'll start with Vucevic. We'll just plug him in.
Wait, you said want to go?
Yeah. You said you want to go here.
No, I did not.
What do you mean?
I definitely didn't say that. You haven't listened to One Word All Show.
You don't want to play Vucevic? I just asked you if you wanted to play him.
No.
All right.
I don't.
Where do you want to play then?
Not Vucevic.
Who's your center?
Not Vucevic.
You literally just said he was going to play. Anyway.
No, I said if you're following trends, but we don't know, we still like that's what it feels like, but we still don't have an idea.
All right. So what do you want to do? We got Watford in. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree on Trent Watford. Yeah, that's the GOAT.
Right.
That's my GOAT.
Watford is in. Lead us the rest of the way here.
Did you see his trash talk to Tyrese Halliburton the other day?
No.
He said, "You're having a down year." It was quality. It was quality trash talk.
Kind of is having a down year.
He was. The second half of the year looks totally different. Reverse of last season, right?
Yeah.
First half of the year for Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you're leading us. This is perfect. D'Angelo Russell. Oh, never mind.
D'Angelo Russell? What do you want?
Well, yeah, and you can move some. You definitely swap some stuff here.
Let's see. And you said you really wanted to play Justin Edwards, I think, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yes, absolutely. Play Gary Trent.
He was priced appropriately.
Play Gary Trent in the forward spot. We can't actually. It doesn't matter. KPJ, you can't move KPJ.
No, but maybe there's a better guard than a forward.
That's also true. Guard is definitely better. Even though it's not its current price range. At this price range, it's not.
I mean, we don't have to play Halliburton. We don't have to. We can go Russell here.
You could do. Here it is. You play Durant at util, and you play Alex Sarr, the better Washington center tonight.
Okay. Even though I think I said Brooke Lopez, but that's fine.
We could do Brolo too.
We got a lot of money left, so we don't even have to.
You go from Sar and you play Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, there you go. How's that look?
Looks like my lineup.
Russell, Grimes, Kuzma, Watford, Sar, Porter, Trent, and Durant.
Look at this power. Even John tried to pull a fast one on you. Even Power's got my back there. Never once was like, "Yep, gotta play Tristan."
I swear, I heard you say.
Well, listen on the playback. And if anyone's out there, who are you defending out there, John or James? Let's hear it in the comments.
They like you better, anyways. We see the comments.
No, they don't. Trust me. We know who. There's someone out there that likes you way more than me, John.
I don't know. All right, it's 6 games. We got the lineup built for you guys here. Please, please, please stay up to date on the news. Things will change.
Yes.
There's a 99% chance that this lineup you're looking at is not going to be the lineup you want to play come roster lock if news breaks the way we think it's going to break. But given the news we have now and the ownership, this is where we're at. Carlucci has your playbook live on fantasyalarm.com right now. You can check it out for free by going to fantasyalarm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go. That first month after your 7-day free trial gets it for less than $20. And it includes all of our DFS content, which means tomorrow's opening day MLB DFS playbook also included for free as part of that 7 days. Grant and I will be back with a preview show later on tonight. We'll be live at 5 tomorrow. Myself and Keith will be live at 5. We'll talk to you then.